Good to see everybody. Thanks for being here today and taking time. Again, it's a little bit strange. I feel like routine, 3 games and then into a bye, and then back into the flow of where we are preparation-wise and getting ready for conference play. I thought, number one, our team, most of what we've done anyway since January, they've handled really well on the plan, and this past week was no different on what we wanted to get accomplished in our bye week. We had 4 really good days on the field. One of those days was strictly a run-through, and then the other 3 were good practices. We had extended meeting times, time in the weight room, a lot of recovery. And I thought today's practice this morning, we looked fast. We were efficient in the way that on really all 3 phases on how we moved from drill to drill, and you could feel the excitement. We understand that we've got a great team in Fresno coming in Saturday at 12:30, and we're excited about that. We're excited about starting conference play, and then we understand that we have not played our best ball, that we're still working to get there in all 3 phases, and our guys are hungry to try to take that next step. As a team, we're healthy, as much as really you could kind of hope for at this point, and that's good to see. And again, that goes back a lot to our off-season work, and a little bit of the ball bouncing your way and some luck involved. I understand that, but it'll be a great week. We're certainly excited about having the chance to play at home. I feel like it's been some time since we've been in there. But our guys are excited about it, and we know that we'll have to play really well. And you look at the things that Fresno does well on offense and defense and kicking, it should be a great matchup. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Skipper and what he's done since he's taken over the job. It'll be a great matchup in our league, and one that will have significance in the landscape nationally of college football. So, with that, answer any questions if I can.
Coach, what is the status of Marcel McDuffie? I see him listed as an org on the depth chart. And then Christian Moore as well. I just had a question about, with his absence, did it limit what you could do offensively with motion and things like that, of that nature?
Yeah, Marcel will it'll be a game time decision on seeing if we can get him close to being ready to play. And then with Christian Moore, he was out, and really we didn't know if he would be cleared for activity or not, even up until the day before the game, right before we left, and decided that he wouldn't have been cleared. So game plan wise, we carried in what we felt like, whether we had him or not. I wouldn't say that it limited on what we did. We probably called a few things a little bit less than if he would have been in there, but I don't think it changed us much offensively. I thought Jay Beasley did a nice job stepping in that role, as well as KB on the way that he can continue to grow in the offense. And then there's something personnel-wise that we have, in 10 personnel or just true 11 or 12 that we can do with the absence or the injury of one of those guys.
You talked last week about some of the adjustments you made on the defensive side of the ball in the second half of that Kansas game. What's maybe 1 or 2 of the more important ones you want to carry into this matchup this week?
Well, I think more than anything, I thought we were better on first downs in the second half of that game, which put our opponent behind the sticks, on second down. Got them in second and, 8, 9 plus, and that was good because then we got them in third down and medium to long, and some things that we felt like we could expose, especially in our third down package defensively. A lot of that was because of the success we had on first down. So that's something that we've got to be better at. It really helped us as the game went on the other night. But if we can be really good on first downs, then that will help us play better defense.
Any particular emphasis on the passing game? I know last week we were talking about rhythm and getting into Matthew Suka with his receivers and timing and stuff like that. Did you see any of that this week?
Yeah, I think we're better. I think in every area. One of those areas we felt we needed to address and continue to get better at is the throw game on offense. And I think after another, week and a half of work, I think we're better today than we were when we left out of the stadium against Kansas. And that'll continue to evolve a little bit in our route concepts and then the timing and what that looks like, not only in the RPO world, but also the vertical passing game. So I'm excited about the progress they've made, and I think that we can showcase some of that as we get into conference play.
What have you thought about Matthew Sluka's performance and decision-making in the RPO game so far this year? Is there anything that you would change with what he's done?
Well, I think you look at, and it's not just on the quarterback, and a lot of time that position gets way too much praise and way too much blame. A lot of it is how we block it up front, the reads on what we're getting on the perimeter. I think what we've asked him to do, he's played efficient. We need to continue to do that. We've been able to build on some of the things that we did the first 3 games as you self-scout and look at those things. So, the pursuit of playing your best, no matter if it's a quarterback or the right guard or the starting field safety, there's a pursuit of always, whatever you've done well, we've got to do it better. And then the things you need to work on, you've got to go to work on them to find a way to play winning ball. And we know that, like I started off with saying, we're a long ways from being our best, and hopefully we'll be a little bit better this week than we've shown through the first 3 games. If we can do that, we'll find a way to play winning ball down the stretch.
Coach, on defense, are you pleased with the populations of the football? I know that Jackson Woodward, when he came in here, he was talking about having 8 players go to the ball at each time, game tackling. Are they swarming to the football from what you've seen on film?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're not there consistently on what it needs to be. But again, that takes relentless competitive spirit every single play. And am I glad with the progress we've made? Yes, I am. Do we have a ways to go into what that signature could be? We do, and we know what it's going to take to get there. So a lot of it is understanding the call, okay, doing your assignment, and then once we figure where the ball is, then it's as fast as you can get there. Because a lot of times, we don't really ever talk about missed tackles. We talk about taking your shot with the correct leverage. Because if you go and you're aggressive and you do that, and then you've got 7 or 8 other guys running, if you end up missing it, then a lot of times you can eliminate explosive plays by just your pursuit and effort to the ball. So it's interesting you bring that point up. I made a cut up. We'll show some of our guys here later today and tomorrow. It's just 50 quick plays of a team that I coached previously on their strain and effort to the ball. So I think when you see that and understand that there's the only limit that you put on yourself is deciding whether you're going to do it or not. Those things become really, from a consistency standpoint, they become contagious, and it can become something that is a huge advantage for us, and we're close to getting there.
How much do you reference last year's game in terms of concentration and eliminating mistakes? Because obviously the third quarter was not great, and then you dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone on the 4th.
Well, I haven't, to our team, because of all the new faces, I haven't talked directly about one certain play in that game. I've talked about how we need to prepare, the things we understand that are at stake once you start conference play, our ability to prepare for when those moments come up to go execute and capitalize on opportunities. I know the guys that were on the team last year, they've relived last year's game a number of times, so they understand that. Also, speaking to the room, we've got 50 new players this year. They've seen film from last year's game, but for me, just like in the bowl game, not to bring up a lot about that game, the opponent, on who it was. I haven't spent a lot of time doing that, other than let's focus on us and how good we can get, how well we can prepare, and then when the ball is snapped, can we execute at a high level consistently for 4 quarters. And I know that's probably a little bit of a boring talk, but I think that's what fits our team best on how we need to approach every single week.
What's the most important thing to containing their quarterback?
Yeah, he's such a good player. He's savvy. I mean, this extends plays. We've got to get him off his spot. And there's a lot of times he's going to catch and throw, and he's already got a read on where he's going to go with the ball. So I think we've got to win competitive ball with 50-50 balls. We need to come up with, those in our favor. And then somehow, some way, we've got to try to get him off his spot where he's not in a rhythm and feels comfortable with the ability to stand and pat the ball. If it's not a three-step, we got to find a way to try to get him off his spot.
Coach, are you excited about bringing back the 1994 championship team on Saturday?
Yeah, it'd be great. Any time that hopefully we've shown this, anytime that we can, number one, it's a great responsibility I have as a head coach to make sure that we honor those that were here before us in our program. And this team will go down in the history books one way or the other on how we write our story, just like the 94 team did. I think it's always important that you respect and honor your past, and then the standard of what we're trying to do so they're proud of wearing around this logo. And if we do that and we do the right things throughout the week, then we'll honor them the right way in how we play.
Talk about how you can't necessarily compare the game from last year to this year, but as you watch the tape, you watch Fresno State's matchup last weekend, is there anything that stands out to you as a major difference on film from what you've seen last year's team, I should say, versus this year's Fresno State team?
I mean, look, to me, what the Fresno brand has always been, they play hard, they're well coached, they've got great players, they create mismatches, and they're a physical football team. What I saw up close last year, with my own eyes, is what I see so far this year on tape. So I would expect the same, and I know they're hungry and saying the same things I am about how important this game is.
What do you say to the fans, Coach, here locally, because the Red Wave is probably going to show up in Fresno, to have a bigger crowd here representing UNLV?
Well, we're excited about playing at home. We're excited about being in Allegiant. Got a nationally ranked team that the home crowd can cheer on. I would like to turn it into a home field advantage for us, which we can do in that stadium. And I have a great belief that at 12:30 we'll walk into the stadium and it will be the best crowd we've had since I've been here.
Along those lines, is it crazy to think that this season has become amplified because of all the conference realignment stuff that you need to win games and people need to show up?
I think it's all part of it. It's all makes such a huge difference. When you look at the future of our program, conference realignment is going to exist as long as we're playing the game. That's never going to end. But on one game at a time mindset, but also if you take a step back and you look how important this is in national rankings, how important it is to start conference playoff the right way, all those things that add up. If you let it, it would be overwhelming to think about all the what ifs. So we've talked about those things as a team and as a staff, but also it will come down on our Monday practice. I can say that it was really good and exactly where it needed to be. Are we preparing the right way this afternoon? How great will our Tuesday practice be? And if we do those things, then you build confidence throughout the week, and you can play fast and you can play free when the game is kicked off. So big picture, absolutely. There's a lot that goes into this one, and then you start narrowing it down from there on how important the individual accountability is for us to go just do our job.
I saw Jeff Choate say that the 4 program schools that got invited to the Pac-12, they've clearly invested in football. Are you getting the investment? Are you happy with the investment? Do you need more here?
I'm excited about the leadership of our president, our athletics director. I know we're on the right path. I know that they're doing everything they can that is for what is the good of UNLV, and I've got very strong belief in that. I know that the ability for us to continue to build a program on a national level is what my mindset is, and how can we do that every single area on how we touch our student athletes, and we're moving in the right direction on for us to be a consistent program on the national scope for years to come. Anything else? Thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
How excited are you guys for this rematch after what happened last year at Fresno?
We're really excited, ready to, go out there and put our best foot forward, coming off bye week. Big game, they're a pretty good team, ready to go out there and play.
Yeah, I think there's a lot on the line. Especially for me. I mean, also your last year, but it's kind of like my last chance to beat Fresno. Haven't done it in 5 years, so it's a big one for me.
How do you guys balance the rest versus rust factor of the bye week? I know it's different kind of position by position group, but what are maybe a pro and a con of having this bye week before a big matchup?
Pro is, that we get a week ahead. They were playing last week, game planning for somebody else, and we just get to sit back and, get our bodies back. I say a pro is, get to game plan more and, get ahead.
Yeah, I really just see. I thought the whole bye week was really just a pro for us. We get our bodies back. Extra week of preparation is always key, especially going into a big game. So I think it was just what we needed.
Is there anything different from a logistics side or maybe a planning side from the coaches as far as a bye week this year versus last year in the first year of the new coaching staff?
I would say they just kept it the same, business as usual. Every time you go into a bye week, like you said, rust versus getting better. I think we just, as a team, collectively, we looked at it as a chance to gain an edge, and get extra prep and get our bodies back.
Yeah, pick off what Tiger said, getting an edge, that's a big thing in our program. We're always trying to find a way to get an edge on our opponent, either way, stretching or, watching extra film. So this bye week, it was really good, helping guys, get extra film and also get their bodies back.
Cameron, you've been here for a long time. You've decided to stay through the coaching change and to go from where you were to being ranked now, 25, and then moving up again this week to 23. Just what was your reaction to that, and what can you say about the growth of the program during your time here?
Oh, it's blessed, man. It's a big, one of our big accomplishments we wanted to accomplish this year, but it's not the main goal. So it's pretty good to be ranked, coming through hard times before, not winning a lot of games my freshman and sophomore year, but I feel like just sticking the course and, God put me here for a reason, so I just wanted to stick it out.
Tiger, the same thing. You've been through those times as well. What did you think when you first saw you that you guys were ranked?
Yeah, just like the rapid growth that we've had is pretty crazy, honestly. Just with the new addition to the staff, and when a new staff comes in, everyone's kind of thinking rebuild, everyone's thinking this, but Coach Odom said day one, I remember our first meeting, he said, this isn't a rebuild, we're here to win right now, and being an older guy in the room, that's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Tiger, what is it like blocking for Matthew Sluka, not knowing where he's going to wind up with the football and what he's going to do?
I would just say it's really fun, and I would just say just staying on your guy and knowing that he's probably going to make someone miss, and just blocking for longer. I would say that's the adjustment that we've had to make. You never want to have an internal clock in your head, but normally pass plays don't last a super long time. But right now, I think just the thing is he's going to extend plays. He's going to make things happen. So, it's really fun. I like it.
So what are you counting to, like 1,005 or something?
Just, after so many reps, you kind of have a little bit of a sense of, okay, maybe the ball's out right now. But, as an O-lineman, you just stay on your guy, keep blocking forever as long as the play lasts.
Cam, Coach Odom talked about some of the defensive adjustments in that second half of the Kansas game. In your eyes, what was maybe the biggest adjustment that you guys had made?
The biggest adjustment I'd sort of say was the run game. The first half they were kind of having their way. We were kind of trying to do a lot of different stunts, getting guys going other ways and misdirection. But the second half, I feel like we just let guys run straight. Let the D-line just go and rush, and let the backers play off of them. That was the biggest adjustment.
What's maybe one of the biggest differences between Kansas's offense, a lot going into that, especially in the early part of the game, versus Fresno State? Maybe a little bit more traditional. Where do you see that?
I see, kind of the difference is, Kansas had more of a mobile quarterback, can run the read option, triple option. This quarterback, he likes to, he's a pass first, and he likes to get out to his guys quick, spread it out wide and hit quick passes. So I feel like that's the difference. They're going to stretch the field more.
I know that Fresno State threw that double pass last weekend. Are you more aware now as you go into conference season that they might start to throw more things at you, more trick plays?
Oh yeah, it's a big game. It's a big game. So they're gonna come out there with the best stuff. They're known to throw a lot of double passes, double moves. So just being back there with great eye discipline is gonna get us on top of all of that.
Cameron, what has Jalen Catalan brought to the secondary so far this season?
Oh, he's brought tremendous leadership. He's been a guy who played a lot of football in his career, so he's seen a lot of different stuff and a lot of stuff that have come from. He's also played in his defense. With Coach Odom in previous years. He just brings a lot of knowledge to the game, and that gives the guys a lot of ease back there.
Tiger, what are some of the developments and wrinkles that you've seen kind of added into this go-go offense, not only through this year, but kind of dating back to last year? What have been some of the changes for this offense, how it's kind of morphed?
I would say the biggest change that we've had is obviously the quarterback position. Last year, Jaden, he's more of a drop-back passer. He's a pass-first guy, and that's really good for our passing game. But I think just having that extra threat of, our quarterback can run, we're going to get him the ball. That puts defenses in a bind, I think. So that's a big change.
What kind of, for both of you, what kind of crowd do you expect to see in this game this week?
That's a big game. I tend to see a lot of people coming. Should be a little packed out. I'm really excited.
Yeah, first home conference game. I'm expecting a good turnout. Hopefully the community can get out there.
That's all we got. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.